I'm going to present a specific case study, that of Jordan and his family. In this case study, I will briefly give some factual information about this family, trauma history, presenting problems and interventions, and I will reflect on some outcome of the treatment. Names and details have been changed in order to keep the cases anonymous and to protect the families involved. Before I delve into the specifics of the case study, let us have a quick look at the common presentations of the families we see at STARTS. As you can see, there are several common presentations. The most significant ones we see as a result of the ongoing stress and trauma is the poor mental health of the parents who are desperately trying to deal with their own traumas. Conflict between parents is very common, and all of this leads to an inability to develop a secure attachment to their child. They're finding it difficult to nurture and set boundaries, and also dealing with the embarrassment and guilt over their children's behavior. With a common presentation of children between the ages of 0 to 6, we're seeing them either hyper-aroused or hypo. Struggling with gross motor milestones, language delay is common, and attachment issues are also very concerning. As a result of this, we see them having health problems, poor sleep, and even nutritional deficiencies. Now, getting back to Jordan and his family, they are a Christian family with a Middle Eastern background. They are asylum seekers and speak Arabic and some English at home. Jordan was born in and has lived in detention for the first year of his life. His younger brother was born in Australia. Jordan was referred to STARTS in July 2017. He was nearly 3 years old then. Jordan is 4.5 years old now. His brother, Adam, is 3 years old. The parents are separated since May 2018. The whole family currently reside in Sydney. All extended families live in the country of origin, both paternal and maternal. The family is all alone in Australia. It was an urgent referral, and it said that Jordan is acting out and becoming aggressive. Jordan's mother believed that it had to do with him being born in and spending 1 year of his life being in detention, and directly related to his trauma. So as I looked at the referral, I thought about the needs that this child would be trying to express through his behavior. For me, the attachment, the rapidly growing brain at this age, and the sensitive period for language, for movement, and order are an important aspect. Children in general are trying to create order out of the chaos as they make their way into the world. Language, movement, family relationships, and sensory information all connect in the child's mind to create order and make sense of the world. The summary of parents' trauma history: they had intergenerational transmission of trauma because of the specific ethnic and religious background of this family. They have experienced trauma in the country of origin because of religious discrimination. As they come from a war-torn country, they faced refugee trauma. Mum was 2 months pregnant when she took the boat journey, and she said that it was twice as difficult as she was constantly throwing up. There was the difficult detention and the process of their asylum application, which includes several prolonged interviews. Mum's difficult pregnancy, as she was actually throwing up the entire pregnancy. There was conflict between the parents since they arrived to Australia because of the multiple stresses. The uncertainty, lack of control, lack of information, economic conditions, loss of connections, which would include extended family, community, and culture, have all led to stress in the relationship. Jordan's history. Due to the traumatic journey, being in detention, Mum's general well-being, it had an impact of stress on the fetus. Mum's body is temporarily the body of the fetus. Her stress levels and nutritional deficiencies become his. The stress continues with the effects of Mum's depression. He's coming to Mum for soothing, but she's too overwhelmed to reassure him that she will keep him safe. Mum's inability to breastfeed, which is a time that they could bond. So it's not the presence, but the quality of the presence that he's lacking. Then there is the parental conflict which he witnessed. And finally, the parental separation. Now, Jordan presented with poor appetite and actually often would wake up in panic. He was hyper-aroused and could get aggressive, particularly with his brother. He was oversensitive to touch and sound, overactive, defiant, and stubborn. Hitting Mum and little brother, he had great difficulty regulating his emotions. He was unable to sit. He had separation anxiety and didn't use any words at all. It was difficult for Mum to contain him, and he was tearing and scribbling on books during the sessions. My case formulation is based on the complex interaction of stress factors. A framework we use here at STARTS to understand what is going on for refugees and asylum seekers. It was a complex interaction of multiple stress factors for this family involved, due to the trauma history and now specifically the visa uncertainty. It has affected Jordan's normal development and being in such a negative recovery environment. In this case, the protective factor for Jordan was that he actually had parents that wanted the best for him. His mother in particular was concerned and committed to his optimal development. However, he has had a chaotic, unpredictable, and disturbing life. The challenges, as I saw them, were Mum's difficulty in bringing children to therapy. Mum has unresolved trauma and grief, but unable to come for her own therapy even though she was referred to STARTS. Social isolation was extreme for Mum because of shame and embarrassment because of the children's behavior. Mum self-diagnosed Jordan with autism. Parents have a sense of being defeated and a lack of trust in organizations, including ours. Parents have lost their identity and esteem. The mother's depression and suicidal ideation whilst in detention. Then the parental conflict, and finally, separation. At this age, Jordan is egocentric in his thinking. The belief of children this age generally is that if good things happen, it is because of them. And if bad things happen, they feel it was because of them. This isn't rational, but it is the way a small child's mind works. Now, the treatment plan was to develop a therapeutic relationship with Jordan and work effectively with the family, because children cannot be treated in isolation of their families, especially at this age. In this specific case, treatment would involve working with Jordan, Adam, and his mother. Psychoeducation would be provided for the mother when she is ready. My approach will be informed by play therapy, circle of security, parent-child interaction therapy, and the Montessori philosophy. The treatment plan would have a multidisciplinary approach, and it would include liaising with other professionals like the family caseworker. Jordan was referred to speech therapy. He went twice, but the speech therapist found it difficult to engage him because of his behavior. Referral to childcare until the beginning of this year was also difficult because of the asylum seeker status and the location that they live in. Therapy with Jordan would be through play. It would be play-centered and mostly non-directive. He will decide what is fun, and I will join in, letting him find his own way and trusting his process. Allowing Jordan to have a sense of control and mastery in his play. Discovering his own internal resources so that he finds his way forward with me, only facilitating the process. In our first session, accompanied by an Arabic interpreter, I was informed that the father would not accompany the mother and children, as taking care of the children was not his responsibility. At the end of the session, as I debriefed with the interpreter, she wanted me to know that the children from this family did not characterize the typical children from her community. The second session, Mum came with the boys. She said it was exhausting taking public transport with them because of their hyperactivity and impulse control. They did not socialize because there was a sense of shame and embarrassment because of the children's behavior. The session was chaotic. I asked Mum to play with Jordan for 5 minutes so I could observe. She said that she had never played with the boys. They played on their own and she didn't know what to do. At the end of the session, each child grabbed a toy and ran out of the room. Mum ran out and carried Adam. She grabbed the toy and handed it to me, while Jordan decided to roll down the stairs. When we got down the stairs, he ran up again and rolled down again. This is when I told Mum that I would be doing home visits because of the safety, the stairs, and the stress of getting to the office. In his initial play therapy sessions, he seemed to reenact the parental conflict. He would hit the adult male and female dolls and then march them around the house over and over again. What I noticed was that there was no joy, no vocalization, and his body would seem rigid. It seemed that his play was stuck. It was like he was living his trauma in the present, both physiologically and psychologically. For several sessions after that, he gravitated to sensory play, using sand, Play-Doh, water, and paint. It was like he knew he needed to do this in order to soothe and regulate his fear network. As we progressed, his play became more dynamic. He experimented, even if symbolically, with alternative endings, like the figures sitting on the table, the family sitting to watch television. So through symbolic representation, the child gains a sense of control over events that seem uncontrollable in reality. Now, initially, the focus and energy in the treatment went into the relationship between Jordan and his mother. Judith Herman talks about creating safety by developing a trusting relationship with mother and child. My aim was to be a role model for the mother in how to deal with Jordan, facilitating their interaction. The attitude is very important. I was there not to judge, but to be there for them, reinforcing that the mum is the expert in his life and that with her assistance, I will get to know the family better. Then I focused on the relationship between me and the mother. In the sessions, I demonstrated and modeled the non-directive nature of the sessions. Mum sat and observed. Gradually, I asked her to play with one child as I did while I played with the other. As one demanded more attention from her, we exchanged. Over the course of several months of regular sessions, Mum's narrative of shame and embarrassment subsided sufficiently for her to talk about the pleasure that she felt when she attended a birthday party where her 2 children were the only ones that waited patiently for the food and then sat next to her and ate. She said that the well-mannered children were observed by all and that she wanted to burst with pride. The play therapy principles that I use with Jordan, I also use with the mother. Accepting them just as they are, creating a feeling of safety so that the family has a sense of being liked and respected. Not rushing the process. Basically, giving positive attention, noticing when she received the children with delight, when she was able to nurture, but also set boundaries. Not putting pressure. The decision to change or not to change behavior always remained with each individual in the family. The focus then was on my relationship with Jordan. The relationship had to be genuine and authentic. This is something that children can sense immediately. My work with him was responsive and in the moment. It was about being present and not about techniques. I had no expectations of him. He could be himself and did not have to worry about meeting my expectations. I visited regularly. There was consistency, reliability, regularity, which brought predictability for the children, and Mum, which put some structure in the chaos. Now, this is the current stage of treatment, and we're all working together. Now, that could be 5 people in the room, which would include an interpreter as well. We have been making origami boats. Mum was most keen to learn, and she taught the children. We have been using these boats to put on the belly as we lie down and do mindful meditation. We observe them going up and down as we breathe in and out. The boys have actually loved this activity. Mum said that she would practice with the children every night when she tucks them into bed just for a minute. I've been taking exotic fruit like lychees and dragon fruit. They have practiced mindful eating. Mum feels that their appetite has increased. We have yoga cards, and they get to pick a card, and we all follow the posture. Jordan has taken the role of the older brother, and he uses the same body language as Mum to direct his younger brother. The big change I notice is his ability to focus and concentrate on the chosen activity, and the grit to continue trying until he gets it the way he wants. He has a sense of pride, which is evident from his eye contact, his body language, which is open and strong, and this comes from feeling safe and mastery over his chosen work. His ability to meditate, even for just a minute. The whole family is sitting down together to play, and Mum has the ability to discipline. His communication with his brother is one of respect as he directs him. Mum sees the positive qualities in her children. However, he still has separation anxiety, and he's speaking in words but not in sentences yet. The essence of this intervention has been the strong therapeutic relationship characterized by unconditional positive regard, the attachment-focused and shifting perception of him, always mindful that I was Jordan's therapist and also supporting Mum. Working with Mum and developing her confidence has been an effective way of working. She was convinced that she was not a good mother. She was embarrassed when she took them out, but now there's a great sense of pride. I noticed that working with the child involved working with the parent as well. I helped her notice how she was responding. It meant giving her empathy and support while working directly with Jordan and guiding her to be with both her children with awareness and sensitivity, not only for the children but herself as well. Conditions in detention centers, living, legal, lack of hope, and not being accepted in Australia creates an environment that does not give a break for people to recover. Even when they're accepted in Australia, they continue to be a vulnerable group because of uncertainty. Although we've had a positive outcome with Jordan and his family, and they have begun a new journey, they continue to be at risk as events unfold in their lives. Our interventions, therefore, continue to be crucial and need to be multidisciplinary in nature.